Hey, what?
Life is okay.
So Linos, I'm gonna do a song, and then I'm gonna have you come in and talk about your program. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So stand by. Hey, everybody, I'm gonna
Okay.
start with get the road sound going. Start with a little tune about staying open to possibilities that exist around you all the time. Oh yeah, and by the way, so I'm doing this live stream is going to multiple destinations, and because of that, I actually can't see any of your comments or anything. So if you are commenting, I don't know it, and I'll catch up with you later. But you haven't lost your way out along the road, and you can't see anything you can call your own. How do you see the difference? See what you made now. You have to take a hold of the game. Play, baby, don't be blind. It's yours to lose. Big responsibility for the path you choose. Baby, don't be blind. Wasn't long ago, only yesterday. You weren't scared. Anything you're on your way when you let them away. Let them beat you down. Let them take best of you. When I was not around. But I'm waiting here like I've always been. Faithful as a sun breeze, every turn of friend you just have to turn around, it don't matter where. You lost your way out along the road, and you can't see anything you can call your own. But you are not beaten until you die. You just have to carry on. Just have to try, baby, don't be behind. It's yours to take responsibility for the path you choose. Baby, don't be blind every single day. We can find the strength inside. We can find our way. Yeah, don't be blind. And so I'm going to go back to my friend Linos, who's in Zimbabwe. And I'm just going to put it right out there. I know that for people in this country, the idea of somebody contributing to something that's going on in Africa oftentimes is a scam. Well, I'm telling you, this is not a scam. This is a guy who's out there in the field doing grassroots work and doing all by himself. I mean, it's not by himself, but he's created this program without any support because it's difficult to get support where he is. And so him and his team are out there trying to spread the word about what's going on with COVID and trying to keep people alive. And they need very little money in the context of what we're used to in terms of fundraising in this country, because all the money goes into the gas tank in their truck and to make the banners that they need in order to spread the word about how to get in touch with them. It's very concrete how the money turns into the services that they provide. And so I'm going to switch it over to, this is my friend Linos. And so Linos, tell us about your program and about the stuff that you do. And if you can talk about the money and how you use the money and what exactly it's for so people understand that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you.
Yes, sure. As Society for Pre and Postnatal Services, we are on a fundraising drive. So we go through a due diligence process at the Global Giving fundraising page to be they considered us to be one of the accelerators for June 2020. So in Zimbabwe and the world, I think mental health has been left behind for a long time. So during these trying times, we know the world is crying for the need for mental health more than now than ever. So we started a program called Community Family Mental Health, where we go to different communities, raise awareness, educate the public about the importance of protecting their mental health during these trying times. So as you see, Joe is sharing our work that we are currently doing. So today is a very big day for us in our fundraising drive at Global Giving. It's a bonus day, so we are encouraging you, or listeners who are listening to me right now, to say, can just go onto our Facebook page, Twitter. Those on Twitter, my Twitter handle is Linus Move, and our Facebook Society for Pre and Postnatal Services, and also Joe shared on his Facebook account our link for Global Giving to donate. So the more you donate today, the more we also get a bonus. So this money will go towards like giving allowance for the team members on daily basis. We give them also food. We also hire that because we are using a mobile vehicle to go around into different communities, especially those that are vulnerable in rural areas, sending out the message, educate. So today we're really appealing for support. I know, and I also thank Joe very much, for his commitment. I know this is the second time he took his time to, show our work that we are currently doing. So I'm kindly appealing for you guys to come in with your numbers to support us. This fundraising drive will end on the 26th of June. So all the funds that we're going to raise, definitely they're going to go towards, supporting our activities as I mentioned them. I thank you.
And I really want people to understand what you said about today. So today is in the Global Giving fundraising campaign. There's even more money that's available, because if you raise a certain amount, then that means it's not. There's matching stuff happens in this country. Oh, got a lot of the same picture here. Here we go. It's not just about matching. It's like, how much extra money do you get?
If we are to raise a lot of money today, more than 5,000, they're going to give another extra of 20,000.
Okay, I just want to point something out about what you just said. You're talking about raising a lot of money today. You're talking about $5,000. That's not a lot of money for the people people who are listening from this country, as well as I do, that $5,000 is not a lot of money in this country in terms of fundraising. It's a drop in the bucket, but that's the money that he needs in order to get an extra $20,000. And if you want to look up the Global Giving fundraising page, you'll see that it's a 5-star rated fundraising. And I'm just showing these pictures of the work that he's doing and the way that he's taking care of his people. It's a 5-star rated fundraising organization, and all the money that is being raised through that. If you have concerns about where the money's going, it's going right through that organization. And so this is a very, very legit situation where somebody's trying to do some very grassroots work, literally, to get the information out. And so I know, Linus, that we've talked about this a lot, but just in terms of the people that you're literally driving, you said 150 kilometers out into the countryside to meet with folks and to try to educate them about what's going on, because there's so many people in that area that just don't have any idea what's going on with Corona, right?
Yes. Especially, to be honest, like, to protect and raise awareness of the importance of mental health. I think it's very key now. I think even the World Health Organization and other key partners that also recognize the importance of advocating towards mental health issues. So to us, this is such a very great opportunity to help our community as concerned citizens.
Right, and that's what. And so you're talking about, you're doing this work as concerned citizens. This is not something that you get paid for unless you raise this money, right?
Yes, definitely. There are no, you just give some very small allowances of $10 per trip.
He's talking about
So I
$10
think
a day for the people that work for him. Like, people, $10 a day. Come on.
yes, just for a trip, just an appreciation, for the team for their commitment towards time, effort.
Did you hear what he just said? $10 a day for these are people who are traveling out into the countryside to try to educate other folks who are there, and they're doing it for $10 a day. I mean, it's an extraordinary thing. And there's another thing that Linos has educated me about, and this is not to diss other charities, but apparently the NGOs, the larger charities who are supposed to be funneling money to these kinds of projects, unfortunately, so much of that money ends up going towards administration that it doesn't ultimately get to folks like Linos in effective amounts, and so that's why he and the people who are working with him are limited to these kinds of processes where they have to go to specific funders and appeal to people in person to try to raise this money so they can just go back out and continue to do what they're doing, which is essentially driving out and with just as you saw in the pictures with these megaphones to try to address folks and communicate to them what's possible. The other thing that you told me about was the banners. So talk about the banners and the toll free number.
What we are looking forward to do is like to print, our banners. These are far-reaching areas. So if we are to place each banner with our information at a local clinic, people they cannot travel those long distance, so they'll just like phone. So currently we'd already started to apply for our toll-free line, and I hope soon we have it. So we'll put it onto our banner. Then we leave that banner at a local clinic where people they come for their routine, antenatal and postnatal care, and also for any other physical illness. They will then see our toll free number, which they will then call. Then we start to provide our counseling services.
And so what that doing is it's expanding your reach and your presence by allowing folks to get in touch with you via these 1-800 numbers that are posted on these banners that you guys leave at the places where you visit. And so it just makes it possible for way more people to have access, because if somebody doesn't have to be there, or if they're not available to talk to you when you're there, then you have the possibility of them kind of calling later, and you can spread the word that way. And so, and the banners, $125 is 25 how many banners does $125 buy?
It's 125. It's for 5 banners. It's for 25 banners.
Yeah, 25 banners for $125. You couldn't do that at Staples. There's no way, right? So not only, and keep in mind that every single one of those 25 banners then goes out to a community and becomes like this virtual access point where all the person needs is a phone and access to that banner to then get in touch with Linos and his team to get this information from them. So they go out into the community, like in the pictures that I showed you, to do the work, and then leave behind a way for folks to then get in touch with them afterwards to get the information. And so they exponentially expand their capacity to reach people by having the banners left behind. And so how many communities do you hope to get out to?
Currently, we are focused on Goromans district, which has got 25 local clinics. So I think as more funds come, I think we want to take this, at a national level. Like in Zimbabwe, we've got 10 provinces, 8 seat fathers. So we hope, everybody is currently in need of our service, and we hope if we get more funding, then we can cover the whole country. But for now, we are just concentrating on Goromonzi district.
And that's 20. So those are 25 local clinics that you then have folks connected to you through.
Yes.
It's very cool. Yeah, and
yes. So the funds that we are mobilizing now is we just want to make sure that we cover the whole district. Currently, we just cover a small fraction of the district. So we hope if we get more funding, we'll then be able to cover the whole Goromonzi district that we are currently working on.
And the message that I want to keep putting out strongly has to do with the value to money ratio. Because I mean, I've run multiple not-for-profits, and I can tell you about how much things cost. The amount of value and information that you guys are able to convey in the context of the money to the impact is quite extraordinary, and makes this project really, really valuable and important. So I just want to make sure I say that enough.
Sure.
Yeah. So cool. All right. So let's let people mull on that a bit. I think I'm going to do another song here, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. This is like some kind of like I don't know, like a phone-a-thon from the old days. A little entertainment between the talking, and I'm the entertainment. That's the only thing. But there was a secret drawer. David played it, please alone. You don't really care for music, do you? Moves like this, the fourth, the fifth, minor fall, major lift, the devil came to the hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Faith was strong, but she needed proof. Saw her bathing on the roof. Beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, broke your throat, got your hair from your lips. She did the hallelujah, 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 Maybe I've been here before. I see this room and I walk this floor. Used to live alone before I knew you. Seen your flag on a marble arch. Love is not a victory march. It's a gold, it's a frozen hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Tell me there's a God above. All I really learned from them is how to shoot at someone who has you. It's not a cry that you hear at night, not someone who's seen the light. It's a gold, it's a frozen hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Love that song. I just found out recently that actually those aren't the original lyrics. Interesting. I'm going to have to learn the other ones. But so as I was playing, I was thinking you were recently saying, Linus, that that you guys are starting to experience spikes in the communities in terms of COVID cases. Is that right?
Yes, to be honest, most people, everybody, to be honest, and myself, COVID has been a lot of some, mental health, issues. Look at, the issue of fear, anxiety, and, even our economical situation. You find out, financially, most people are in a very bad state, which means that of these mental health disorders, particularly those that are mild and moderate. So definitely great need to so that we protect, raise awareness, we educate the community.
And so you guys, so your role is literally to kind of be out there and supporting folks in understanding the whole thing, so that they can not be overwhelmed by fear about something that they have no idea about what's going on. Because as in this country,
Yes,
their cases go up, and there's fatalities, and if people have no understanding about what's going on, that's just going to make things a million times worse. And so you guys, your role is to be out there and making people aware of what it is that they're facing, what they can do in response to it, and it's a huge and important work.
yeah, sure. So we are just generating the conversation around promoting the sound mental health.
And I'm aware from our conversations, because we've been talking about this for weeks, but I'm aware of how little information folks out in the countryside had, and at least I mean, even in this case, the information was not fabulous, but at least we started to have some sense of what it was exactly that was going on, and what to do in response. And I know that there was not a lot of that there. So you guys, I mean, you're just trying to get up to speed. You have very little in terms of resources, and you're kind of out there doing this on your own, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. That's why
And
I think we have decided now to look at this, recognized fundraising organization like the Global Giving. We know, of course, we are coming in a world where most people they say Africans they're not transparency and all these things. And also by also getting in touch with you, Joe, I think we came a very long way now, trusting each other a lot in terms of pushing, the narrative conversation. So, you even, really understand where I'm coming and where we are going. So, to me, that speaks a lot now.
yeah, yeah, and sorry, man,
Yes.
go ahead. Leno.
Yeah, I wanted to say, currently, yeah, we've got that bond now in terms of, we are speaking the same language, we share the same passion, interest, because we know this is very critical, especially at this point, to see us as narrative, therapist, to make sure that we play our role, so that people they understand and they maintain their mental health status.
Yeah, and I'm glad you, because it's important for folks to know that yeah, you and I, we didn't internet conversation. We're both narrative informed people, and we met through a group that's connected to the practice of therapy that I've used for a very, very long time now. It's narrative therapy, and it's an international kind of internationally known approach to therapy, and well understood in some communities, but that we're professional colleagues, and that we're, yeah, we are very closely connected in the context of that work. and that this is part of for me. You're somebody who's out there doing the on the ground, hands on work that goes beyond the kind of work that I'm limited to sort of the in the box therapy office. Although this is actually my office right now because of the quarantining stuff, but that you're out in the community doing community work on the ground, talking to people who are coming to you just because they're there and because you're there, and it's really I just find it extremely honorable work, and I'm proud to know you, but I'm also proud to be doing whatever is possible to try to get folks to be contributing to what you're trying to do. And the other thing that's probably worth saying is this is like the timing of this couldn't possibly be worse because there's so much going on in this country in terms of people sending money to organizations that are supporting Black Lives Matter and the Black community in this country, and it's taking it's kind of difficult to move their attention to a different area, which is linked to the first thing that happened in this country that kind of got us wound up and taken to the streets, which was the virus, and just kind of understanding it from our own perspective. But just to point out that the amount of infrastructure in terms of communication that we have is so much greater than in terms of just availability than what is in Zimbabwe. And just to remind people that you are literally taking this information out and taking the support out into these communities that are 100 miles away from where you are in 25 years, and just how thin that resource is and how creative it is that you're using the toll-free number approach to try people link to you in ways that doesn't require you being in 25 places at one time. So there's how many people? There's 5 people on your team, including you?
We are 10 of us. And also, we are using a multidisciplinary approach where we include into our team, we include the people from the police, the victim-friendly unit. They also talk about the gender issues. So we also have, the environmental health technicians. They also talk about the prevention. I know the environmental team is the ones that are behind or at the forefront of quarantine centers. So they talk about the prevention or the information about COVID. So my team now they now come in to look at these measures, how they bring in some mental health disorders as well. So it's a more of a disciplinary team that we are.
So the 10 folks are the number 10, those are the folks that are only a part of your team, and then there's other folks that are also linked to this?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad about that because it's way too much work for just people to be doing.
Yeah, sure. We have to realize we realize that, and that's why we also include the other players.
Yeah.
Who also contribute to the prevention and awareness.
Yeah.
The world is crying about the issue of domestic violence, so we also put that into consideration.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. I mean, because you're also in a community where you have HIV orphans and child-led families. You have people who are years of the families because of the age. I'm going to do another. Then I want to come back and talk about some stuff in relation to that, if that's okay. Is that okay, Linos? I'm going to do one more song here, and then get some context questions to ask. He already knows the answers, but I want people to hear about the stuff that I know that he knows. Going to switch over the piano. This is a song. It's just a reminder to, maybe think about it this way. I want you to hear this song in the context of. So what Linos and his team are able to do, I find kind of extraordinary and miraculous, and really like not letting anything get in the way of their completing their mission. And it's like, so this is an invitation for all of us to kind of take up that kind of position. Feeling lost and naked in the or inside your head is just so old. Take somebody's hand and let the rain just wash away the lies you've told. Yeah, there's nothing you can do to stop the pain. You don't want to see the sun again. So let that river flow and let the water wash away. But you can't change it. Burn like a flame, no one can take. Shine like a star, be who you are, yeah. Feeling lost and naked in the cold, or inside your head is just so cold. Take somebody's hand and let the rain just wash away what you've been told, yeah. The only thing that's standing in your way, secret you keep inside that you won't say. And let somebody know, see that nobody's perfect anyway. Burn like a flame, no one can take. Shine like a star, be who you are. 'Cause there's nothing that you have to be instead of who I see right here, right now. Feeling lost and naked, you're not cold. Holding back those tears that you won't cry. Doing it so long you can't remember why. Let yourself move on. Feel that your soul begin to fly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Burn like a flame. No one can name. Shine like a star. Be who you are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, shine like a star, like Linos. So Linos, yeah. So you you have experienced HIV, and one of the things that I talked to you about early on was the work, how you in your country approached the HIV epidemic, and how it was really kind of an enlightened response in the context of how information was disseminated by the headmen in the villages, and that has in some ways positioned you guys to approach this new epidemic in a way that's maybe better than what we did. I mean, certainly information did not get communicated well in this country, but could you talk a little bit about how HIV affected your country and some of the consequences of that you're continuing to deal with?
Okay, the HIV issue, it brought some disadvantages within, families. Most people, died due to HIV. So we find out now, if we are to go now to give our services within the communities, find out now our communities have got different families, type of families that due to HIV. Traditionally, we used to have the extended families, the polygamous, but this nuclear family is no longer, but it has been now neutralized because of the HIV issue. Find out now we've got the child-dated families. And in fact, most of they traveled, for green park, US. So find we also have now the child-dated families. So this alone has brought in a lot of some, childhood, adverse childhood experiences, particularly for children. And we also face such issues when we go for our intervention. So you find out this HIV, of course, the government has tried its best to make sure that we have got the national, the province, the district, and the village. So at the village level, we have got what they call village health workers. So you find out if the information from the national trickles down to the village, to the village health workers, who then now interact with families and the communities in terms of preventative measures. So this is how the government approached, or the HIV and AIDS issue.
And now this is a whole new topic to be talking to people about and getting their heads around. And you guys are out there trying to help them mediate their fear and concern around their response. That right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The reason why I did that is because I'm like, I want to make sure I'm not talking for you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Because I guess,
Yeah.
one of the things we're run out of time, but one of the things that I want to just put out there in the context of this conversation that we're having is you're I'm just very much impressed by you, and our conversations have just been amazing. And I would just, if I could transfer to the people who are watching this the care and concern and affection that I have for you, I think it would be a lot easier for you to raise the money.
Yeah, sure.
Because
And I think the folks, or the listeners, they should also know that you become the first person to donate to our global, giving fundraising page. So you that to me it means a lot, for through your donation. So we are here for serious, and we really want to make this happen. And I know, Joe, you are so concerned. I was remembering, and I mentioned that we need something like $1,000, to just go and redo our work, since we'd initially get another 2,000 that we used for the first phase. So we want to go for the first phase, and we need that amount. And this is something that I can spend in a shorter period of time. So to be honest, but
now, can you
we
just
are
say that
still
again?
trying
How?
to.
Because I want people to understand that. What the first donation that you had that started off the work? How much money was that?
1,000 from the UK team. So it's the one that all the photos that, or whatever people that are seeing, that's we use that amount towards, that's how we spend the money.
It's just, I mean, it's such. I'm just going to show the photos again, because the amount of money it's so little, and all that you were able to do. This is all from that first process, right? And that's you on the
Yes,
right. Is that you on the right?
yes.
Yeah,
The first one on,
yeah.
yeah, on the right, yes.
That's not you with the Meghorn that time though, right? I love the I love
Yeah, that
the
one.
no.
That's the team.
I mean, this is what this guy is
Those are farming communities. Farming communities. That
right.
one at a local clinic, talking to the women.
But you're talking about these are, and I keep forgetting you asked, what are they farming there?
Those are farming communities.
Do you know what the
But
crop
those
is
are the
though?
are flowers. They are farming flowers.
Oh, okay.
It's a white guy it's a white guy who is farming some flowers.
Uh, well, yeah. But so this is This is what they used that first $2,000 for. And can you imagine what they'd be able to do? What Linos and his team could do with the not only the $5,000 that they need to begin with, but then the $20 on top of that, and how much more reach they would have to get out in the community and spread this word. So I'm going to do one last song and then we'll sign off. But I just want to thank you so much for being back. It's like 9 o'clock at night where you are. What time is it where you are?
This is now 9 o'clock, 9 p.m.
9 o'clock. Yeah, it's a lot later where you are.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the song that I always end up these shows with. It's the gratitude song, and this song I'm going to dedicate this to Linos because I'm so grateful that he is somebody who's alive in this world right now.
So Joe,
What?
Joe?
What?
Okay, I think my battery is now 29%, so it can, just start off. So,
Are you?
So I can leave you.
Okay. Yeah, man. And
Yeah.
and I will see you. So I'll see you next week.
Definitely.
Okay.
This week, Friday, we've got a meeting.
No, not Friday. We'll do it next Friday.
Or next Friday.
Yeah.
So I think we can arrange to just meet any one of the days soon.
Yeah, that would be great. But I'll talk to you. We'll set up a time to meet.
Sure. Yeah, sure, definitely.
All right, man. Thanks for being there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay.
All right, so this is the gratitude song. We all walk a road that brings both here and culture. We all carry gifts that burden us sometimes. And the only thing that we all have in common is a strength that just refuses to resign. And I have seen it in the faces of the hungry. I have seen it in the faces of the weak. I have seen it even when there should be nothing. It is this that brings me the day to see. Oh, there's many souls in need of comfort. I thought I'd come here to let you know. Grateful for this day. Grateful for this day. Don't need any reason, no matter what the season. I'm grateful for this day. And I can act as if my whole life is a struggle. I can act as if there's nothing there for me. Oh, I can look at everyone like they are strangers. But instead I choose to do my best to see. There'll be times when I feel discouraged. I thought I'd come here to let you know. Grateful for this day. Grateful for this day. Don't need any reason, no matter what the season. I'm grateful for this day. I know there will be times when I feel outnumbered. I thought I'd come here to let you know. Grateful for this day. I don't need any reason, no matter what the season. I'm grateful for this day. Grateful for this day. I'm grateful for this day. I don't need any reason, no matter what the season. I'm grateful for this day. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you for tuning in. Thank you very much for watching. Spread the word about Linos and his work. Check out the website. There's a link on my Facebook page to the website that Linos' fundraiser is connected through. Appreciate anything anyone can do for him and the work that he's doing. And I will see you all. I'll be back on Friday for another live stream show, and I'll see you all then. Thanks for tuning in.